Mr. Manning, do you regret switching those babies?
What do you think your chances are?
Mr. Manning, what's it feel like to be facing 20 years to life?
Well, Manning Enterprises go under while you're in prison.
All right, my client has no comment.
Actually, I do have something to say to Carly Jacks. Carly, I love you. We belong together, and I don't know how, but I'm gonna make that happen.
How do you intend to do this from a prison cell?
And I think we're done here. Let's go, Casanova.
No, you never told me how things went with Johnny Z. Did you get him to call off his associate?
I tried.
You tried? Mm-hmm. Did you remind him that he killed my granddaughter?
I did indeed. Right after I asked him to call off his associate, but Johnny wouldn't agree to anything.
All rise. The Honorable Judge Shepard presiding.
Be seated. Mr. Manning, you've agreed to a bench trial as opposed to taking your chances with a jury of your peers, which means that I alone will be deciding your fate. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor, I understand.
Call your first witness.
Prosecution calls Heather Weber. Miss Weber currently resides in maximum security at the Miscavige Hospital for the Criminally Insane.
And yet you deem her to be a credible witness.
I think you'll soon agree. She just may know the defendant better than anyone.
Take the stand, please.
You told me Heather Weber promised to take the rap for you.
She did.
And what the hell is she doing here?
My dad got it.
Did Heather make a deal? Is she willing to ruin my life in exchange for a lighter sentence? Is that what's going on?
Have you ever been to Miscavige Town?
No, not yet.
It makes Ferncliff look like a five-star resort.
There you have it. She made a deal.
Thank you, bailiff. We can proceed. Your witness.
I'll cut right to the chase. On the night of June 4th, 2012, did you and Todd Manning conspire to switch Sam Morgan's live baby with Taya Delgado's deceased one? Mr. Manning conspired with you to switch those infants, didn't he?
Objection. Leading.
Overruled. Answer the question, Miss Weber.
Todd knew nothing about it. I was alone in that garden shed. I'm the one who switched the dead baby with Sam's live one. I wanted to punish her. Taya Delgado and Todd Manning were completely in the dark.
Miss Weber, I'd like to remind you, you are under oath.
I'm aware of that.
And are you also aware perjury is a crime?
Exactly. That's why I'm telling the truth. I swear on my son, Stephen Lars, that Todd Manning is innocent.
No further questions.
Would you like to cross-examine?
Not unless, thank you, has now become a question, Your Honor.
You can step down.
Wow. Saved by the loony bell.
Yeah. Now, if only Johnny's associate would go AWOL, we'd be home free.
You can call your next witness.
Prosecution calls Pete Fillmore.
Well, it appears your witness needs a lesson in punctuality, unless he's not coming.
Wow. We did it?
I did it.
Whatever. I'm just glad it's over. And when I say it's over, what I mean is that it's over for me. May as well cuff me now.
Just hold your horses.
See, I don't understand that. I don't have any
It's a
horses.
circus term. It's just, it comes from the...
Mr. Fillmore, isn't it true you were in the woods on the night in question tracking Miss Weber's movements?
Yes. My associate, Donnie Smith, and I both were.
Why is that, Mr. Fillmore?
John Zaccahra hired us to tail her.
And you saw Miss Weber in and around that garden shed, correct?
Yes.
Can you tell us exactly what you saw transpire?
She went into a shack or shed or whatever, so we snuck up to a window and watched.
And what was Heather Weber doing in that shed?
Switching a couple babies. One was real still and the other one was awake and moving.
I see. And she did this with Mr. Manning's help?
No.
Excuse me?
Manning was waiting outside. I don't think he had any idea what was going on. The Weber lady brought out one of the babies, the live one, gave it to Mr. Manning, and some other lady came up and he gave the baby to her.
Mr. Fillmore, this goes against your earlier statement.
My boss told me to implicate Manning.
Your boss being John Zaccahra.
They hate each other and I work for Mr. Zaccahra. So I lied.
And now you're telling the truth.
Yep.
No further questions.
Your witness.
Your Honor, both of the prosecution's star witnesses have just testified on behalf of my client. So if that's as good as it gets for the district attorney, I would like to move for the immediate dismissal of all charges. There's no case against Todd Manning.
You make a compelling argument for dismissal.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You can't be serious. Your Honor, after Mr. Manning was apprehended, he tried to bribe a detective. I have a recording of the incident. When that didn't work, he attempted escape. And upon that failure, he faked his way into a mental institution where, surprise, surprise, he escaped again. This is a man you want to go free?
Your Honor, the charges here today pertain only to the mix-up of those infants last June. Well, tragic as that may be, my client was not involved. He was arrested and imprisoned based on the false testimony of one John Zaccahra, who, as we all know, is now facing 20 years in prison for murder. Anything that happened after that fraudulent arrest and imprisonment should, and I hope will, be thrown out. End this now, Your Honor. Let Mr. Manning go.
My client has no comment.
Hold on, I do have something to say. To Carly Jacks. Carly, I love you. We belong together, and I don't know how, but I'm going to make that happen.
How do you intend to do this from a prison cell? And I think we're done here. Let's go, Casanova.